For many individuals, purchasing a vehicle, regardless of whether it's new or pre-owned, represents one of the largest financial commitments they'll undertake. The allure of the freedom to travel wherever and whenever one desires is compelling enough to make acquiring a car appear as a sound investment. However, the truth is, a car purchase can have significant financial implications that could negatively affect one's wealth. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 reasons how owning a car can lead to financial strain. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below to get more impactful content. At the top of our list is the rapid rate at which automobiles depreciate in value. Let's be honest, any rational individual invests capital with the primary objective of achieving a profit. It's for this reason that serious investors gravitate towards options like real estate, the stock market, forex, and prospective business ventures in an effort to enhance their personal wealth. However, car ownership paints a contrasting picture. Rather than enjoying a return on your investment, you're likely to witness a significant part of your money diminishing as your car accumulates mileage. Indeed, the odds of your car appreciating in value are virtually non-existent. Viewed through the lens of a business, this makes car ownership a dubious investment. In fact, henceforth, we will refer to a car strictly as a liability, since it necessitates continual financial outflows such as gas, insurance, and repairs. However, these expenses are relatively insignificant compared to the substantial value you lose when purchasing a new car. In the first year alone, a new car's value depreciates approximately 15 to 25%, depending on the model. This implies that if you decide to sell your newly acquired car after 1 year, you'll only receive about 75% of its initial price. If you tally the sum you paid for your car along with all associated financial charges like interest, you'll realize that a 25% depreciation considerably diminishes the value of your car. If this isn't a recipe for becoming poorer, I don't know what is. I'm not going to deny the undeniable convenience that car ownership offers. The freedom to journey from one point to another is undoubtedly wonderful. Let's face it, public transportation just doesn't measure up to the comfort of possessing your own vehicle. Fortunately, there are ways to minimize the financial blow that depreciation can inflict. One effective method is to purchase a used car, thus letting someone else shoulder the larger portion of depreciation that a car endures during its initial years. By doing this, you take ownership of the car after a substantial amount of its initial depreciation has been absorbed. Studies demonstrate that a car's value will depreciate by around 50% in its first 3 years, and then only depreciate about 25% over the next 3 years. This is the point at which you would ideally want to take possession of the car. What's even better is that a car ages and depreciates slower. If you decide to sell it, you can still recoup a decent portion of your initial expenditure. Lastly, used cars typically carry a lower price tag than their brand new counterparts, which means you can still enjoy the convenience you crave at a much more palatable price. Thus, while car ownership does come with financial challenges, there are strategies to mitigate them and continue to enjoy the benefits of having your own set of wheels. The second reason why cars could contribute to your financial downfall is their tendency to create a substantial obstacle on your path to financial independence. This obstacle is none other than debt. Car loans, besides mortgages and student loans, account for a significant portion of household debt. For those conscious of their financial health, an escalating debt level is a telltale sign of a shaky financial condition. Therefore, before deciding to purchase a car, you should consider whether you're capable of paying for it upfront in cash. If your response is a reluctant no, then it's prudent to take a step back and reassess your decision. You may not hear it from most car dealerships, but the reality is that auto loans will have you shelling out significantly more than the vehicle's actual worth. Car loans often come with hefty interest rates, so much so that by the time you finish paying your monthly installments, your bank balance could be severely depleted. If you absolutely must purchase a car, it's highly recommended to consider paying for it in cash. Although this may seem unfathomable for many, opting for a cash payment can save you from coughing up extravagant interest rates for an asset that's depreciating in value. Thus, it's a financial strategy worth contemplating to avert the slippery slope towards debt. The third reason revolves around the substantial expenses associated with car ownership. Have you ever stopped to consider how much money you pour into your car each month? The truth is, car-related costs could be one of the primary factors hampering your financial growth. If you aspire to attain financial independence, it's essential to explore more economical transportation alternatives. Regardless of where you reside, the costs tied to owning a car are undeniable. If you're contemplating purchasing a vehicle, prepare yourself for a continual stream of associated expenses. Here, I'll detail these costs for your understanding. With the escalating prices of new cars, even individuals with a middle-income status often find it challenging to buy cars with cash, resulting in the prevalence of car loans. This leads us to the first significant car-related expense: financing. Let's say you buy a sedan for $26,000, making a down payment of $5,000 and financing the remainder. The moment you drive away, you're plunged into debt worth $21,500, accruing an interest rate of 7% over the following 2 years since you've opted for 24-month financing. While 7% may not seem excessive, it translates into an additional $3,200 in interest charges, nudging the total cost of the $26,000 sedan closer to $30,000. Next, we have insurance premiums. Driving a car without adequate insurance is not an option, making this a recurring expense for as long as the car remains under your ownership. A quick internet search for average insurance rates will reveal that it's likely to cost you around $1,200 per year. Fuel costs are another considerable expense. Gas is indispensable for your vehicle's operation, making it an avoidable cost. The average car owner travels roughly 12,000 miles annually, which, assuming a gallon of gas costs $3, will set you back approximately $1,440 each year on fuel. Additionally, maintenance costs can accumulate. Like any machine, a car will experience breakdowns and require repairs to keep it operational. Whether it's brake replacements, tire repairs, or oil changes, you'll likely encounter at least one unforeseen car expense each year. Now, if your family owns 2 or more cars, imagine the astronomical costs incurred to keep these vehicles running. When you factor in other household expenses such as rent, groceries, electricity, and potential credit card debts, you may find yourself with little to no savings left after managing all these costs. Fourthly, cars tend to eclipse other potentially more affordable modes of transportation. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that owning a car is the only practical method of commuting, but this isn't necessarily the case. Without question, cars offer a level of convenience and autonomy. However, it's important to consider the associated costs. Any factor that disrupts your financial progress by diminishing your savings warrants reconsideration, and owning a car is no exception. Despite their allure of luxury, cars can prevent you from considering more cost-effective travel alternatives. There's an abundance of transportation options that can yield substantial savings. For instance, if you reside in a bustling city with a reliable public transit system, this could be a beneficial option to consider. Most public transit passes cost around $100 a month, a figure significantly lower than the collective expenses of maintaining a car. Alternatively, services like Uber or Lyft provide on-demand access to a vehicle when needed. This approach may prove more economical than purchasing a car that sits idle for 8 hours a day while you're at work. While public transit may not offer the speed or comfort of a private vehicle, its financial benefits can be quite appealing. Eliminating fuel, insurance, and car financing costs can substantially contribute to your wealth accumulation. With no car-related expenses or loans to worry about, what's stopping you from investing more? The money saved could be channeled towards bolstering your retirement fund or making high-dividend investments like stocks. Moreover, choosing alternative modes of transport can reduce daily commuting stress. Instead of feeling frustrated in traffic, you could be enriching your knowledge with an audiobook on the bus. Or, rather than struggling to find parking downtown, you could simply request an Uber and erase parking concerns from your worries. It's essential to remember that cars impose not only financial, but also mental burdens, the latter of which is a cost that can undoubtedly be avoided. Finally, the fifth point is that cars often propagate a deceptive perception of affluence. If you find yourself coveting the latest luxury sports car, it's worth examining your motives. Is the purchase born out of genuine necessity, or is it a desire to appear wealthy? Though it's an uncomfortable truth, many individuals buy their vehicles to satiate their financial vanity or to keep up with their peers. Perhaps you're the only one in your office without a car, or maybe your friend Jeff just acquired a sleek red Mercedes, inducing a pressure to match his acquisition with a flashy Mercedes sedan of your own. If you're prone to succumbing to such societal pressures, your prospects of accumulating wealth are likely diminishing. Your extravagant car might present an illusion of a prosperous lifestyle, but in reality, you're causing significant financial harm to yourself. Unlike less conspicuous investments that aren't visible to society, cars have unfortunately been designated as symbols of wealth. This is why many people prioritize car ownership over making sound financial investments, such as purchasing stocks that appreciate in value. At this point, it should be evident that cars deplete wealth rather than build it. So if you're yet to reach your financial goals, it's critical to reassess your approach to car ownership and refocus on the larger financial picture. Now that you're aware of how cars can contribute to financial hardship, you're better equipped to make judicious financial choices regarding your transportation options. Thank you for watching. If you wish to transition from your current lifestyle to the one you truly deserve, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button now.